Welcome to Aruba!
Aruba is one happy little island.
But there are a few things you really need to know before planning your next trip here. Hey everyone, I'm Rico.
And I'm Alex.
And we just took an incredible trip to Aruba.
But it almost was all ruined because we could have gotten kicked out and sent back to the US without stepping on any Aruban sand.
Yes, we've definitely learned a few things along the way with this trip, and we put together this list of 12 essential tips that you need to know as you're planning your next vacation to Aruba, all the way from beginning the moments that you're stepping on the sand to the end when you're leaving Aruba and getting back to your country.
So be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips.
And we'll jump right into it. Okay, so when is it the best time to visit Aruba? The quick and short answer is any time of the year is really a good time to go to an Aruban beach and spend some time there. But there are some other considerations that you might want to take into account. Peak season to go to Aruba is mid-December to mid-April. So that corresponds with the winters here in North America, and when people are looking to get away from the cold, the snow, and just enjoy the beach and island time over there. So that makes the shoulder season from mid-April to August. Prices will be a little bit cheaper there. That's also when the windy season is kind of taking place. And then from August to mid-December, that's kind of more or less your off season, so less busy and great for those that are looking for a more budget-friendly option.
We actually went in May, and it was a great time to go because it was not too windy yet. It's actually nice when the wind is at peak because it's a great time for windsurfing. So if that's something that you're interested in trying, Aruba is a great place to get some lessons and try things out.
It's also just so hot, like the sun is hot, so it's nice to have a little bit more of a breeze, so it really didn't bother us.
Yeah. You're definitely going to need sunscreen no matter what time of year you go. The sun is hot, and it is, I mean, you'll get burned like this, so make sure you pack that in your bag.
And then hurricane season.
Oh yeah.
So I know a lot of times when you're going to the Caribbean or to anywhere on your vacation, you want to make sure you're aware of if there's a hurricane season. You don't want to get rained out during your vacation.
Yeah, you want to be prepared. If you want to get stranded, you obviously don't want to get stuck in a hurricane. But actually for Aruba, a hurricane season isn't really a concern. They never really get affected by the tropical storms as of the filming of this video.
And that's really why it's such a good place to visit any time of the year. You're going to enjoy your time in Aruba.
Tip number 2 is about travel requirements. These are things that you absolutely need to know about if you want to get in and enjoy the Aruban beaches.
Well, the first requirement is to complete your ED card, and you can do this up to 7 days before you set foot in Aruba. And if you don't, they will pick you out of your line at customs and have you go back and complete it at their computers and then get back in line and go through the whole thing again. So try to get that done in advance, and that's for everyone, including children and infants. So it's a pretty easy form.
It's just an easy form, but getting it done before really cuts down on your airport time. It makes sure that you're not stuck in any, like we waited in an entire line before we even knew we had to fill this out, and then we had to get out of line, get into another line, fill out the card in order to even get through to customs.
And it's just like where your basic information about yourself, your passport information, and where you're staying for their records.
Yeah.
Travel requirement number 2 that's also very important, especially if you're traveling to Aruba from outside of the United States. For example, for us, we took a trip to Peru, and Aruba was on our way back to the US, so that's why we decided to spend some time in Aruba. We didn't know, though, ahead of time that if you're traveling from a high-risk country for yellow fever, that you need to have a yellow fever vaccination before setting foot in Aruba.
Yeah.
And Peru is actually a country that is a high risk for yellow fever, and that you would need to have that requirement before going to Aruba.
Peru has lots of different biomes and different things that you can check out. We were just staying in the city for a couple of days visiting some families, so we weren't doing any hiking or nature activities that would have exposed us to yellow fever. That might not be the case for anyone traveling from Peru. So we got a little bit lucky since our situation was different than that. They let us through, they explained to us the risks and why they were requiring a yellow fever vaccine. But if you are traveling to Aruba, make sure you check that list. They have a website that you can check which countries are at a high risk for yellow fever, and you can just go ahead and get the vaccine to just make sure you're totally safe to enter Aruba without any trouble.
Yeah, looking back, I think we just would have gone ahead
We
and done it.
definitely would have, yeah.
Because when we didn't find out about it until we were at the airport in Peru before coming to Aruba. So like the whole plane ride to Aruba was just like panic, anxiety, like thinking, oh, we might not even be able to be let in.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully, because we had only spent such a small amount of time in Peru and in the limited area of Peru, we were in the clear. But yeah, we'll put a link to that website in the description below so you can check if your country that you'll be coming from is on that list where you will need that vaccination or not. What languages are spoken in Aruba? Aruba is actually a constituent country of the Kingdom of Netherlands. So traditionally, the languages in Aruba are Dutch and Papiamento, Papiamento being the local language of the ABC Islands. However, you will find that everyone in the touristy areas of Aruba speaks English or Spanish. So if you speak one of those languages, you would probably be able to get by.
Aruba is one happy little island, and they do their best to accommodate their tourists. If you're in the tourist areas, if you're at a restaurant or visiting any of the local attractions, you'll be able to get by just fine with English or Spanish.
Yeah, so don't get carried away thinking that you have to Duolingo some Dutch or anything like that. But you will see some Dutch influences on the island. Whether that's like the architecture or some restaurants and bars.
Some snacks that maybe,
Dutch pancakes, that was one of them. So you'll see that, but you don't need to learn that. And as far as Papiamento goes, do you remember any Papiamento that we learned?
No.
The only one I remember is Bonbini, which means welcome. So you'll be hearing that a lot on the island.
Tip number 4, where to stay. So if this is your first time visiting Aruba, we would highly recommend staying on the west side.
Yeah, that's where you'll have a lot more access to things to do, to restaurants, and some of the, famous Aruban beaches that are spectacular. Probably one of the main reasons why you are in Aruba. Going kind of area by area of what's the most popular there. The first one being Palm Beach. That is also known as the high-rise area of Aruba. So you'll find a lot of like your big name hotels, your Marriott hotels, Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
That's what you'll find over there. You'll find really beautiful beaches. You'll find a little bit more nightlife and casinos and restaurants and things to do. There's plenty to do in Palm Beach, basically. Yeah,
if you're looking for a hotel that maybe has a little bit more like service on the beach or activities on the beach, things like that, this is probably the area for you.
Yep, definitely.
We definitely also saw a lot of families here.
Yeah, we did see a lot of families there. And then going a little bit south of Palm Beach, you'll see Eagle Beach, and that's known as a low-rise area. So that's more like condos and timeshares is what you'll find there. I would say about the same number of families there.
But if you're looking to get that piña colada delivered, you're probably not going to find it at Eagle Beach.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bring your own.
And everything feels a little bit more spread out in Eagle Beach. Whereas sometimes in Palm Beach, you get to some areas, it feels like everyone's a little bit on top of each other. So that's a difference there. But both beaches are equally beautiful, I would say, between Palm Beach and Eagle Beach.
Yeah, and if you're looking for something even quieter than Eagle Beach, you're going to want to look at Nord.
Yes. So I wouldn't say a lot of people stay at Nord, but because it's a little bit more secluded, it's north of Palm Beach. And it's good for those that are just kind of looking to get away from all the hustle and bustle from the rest of the maybe more touristy areas.
And then alternatively, for the hustle and bustle, Aranjuez.
Yeah, you can also go to Aranjuez. That's the capital of Aruba and probably the closest to the airport out of all the areas that we were mentioning so far. And this is where you'll find a little bit more of that Dutch architecture. You'll find a lot of good shopping and things to do.
History, tours, things like that.
It's also a little bit more budget friendly than Palm Beach and the other beach areas. And Flamingo Beach is also in Aranjuez, which I'm sure you might have seen on social media.
Yeah.
And it is really cool, and it's in Aranjuez. As far as what we wanted for our stay is a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's a classic. We're always like, oh, if you want this, stay here. If you want this, stay here. Unfortunately, we just look to stay where you can get all of that.
Right. So we wanted to be close enough to the activities, the restaurants, but not feel like we were...
we wanted to have a little bit of quiet. We were coming from another trip, so we were looking for some of that really laid-back beach vibes. We wanted to chill on the beach, but still have access to local fare and stuff like that.
We stayed at the Boardwalk Boutique Hotel, and that's located in Palm Beach. Not exactly in the city center of Palm Beach, maybe just a few minutes north of that. but it was great.
We're gonna do a full video about this hotel because there was just so much that we loved about it. But basically the difference was, you know, we were less than a 5-minute walk from the beach. We got all of the amenities of staying at Palm Beach without some of the noise.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, so when we have that video made, we'll have that linked right over here. Tip number 5. This one's a quick one, but still just as important as any other tip on this list, and that is that you can drink the tap water in Aruba.
So we've been to a lot of different places, and almost always you have to buy bottled water just because you're not from there or it's not safe to drink. You could totally drink any of the tap water, and it tastes really good. So make sure you bring a water bottle because you're really going to want to stay hydrated. The heat and the sun and everything you're doing is going to dehydrate you. So you want to make sure you're getting plenty of fluid. Water in addition to those piña coladas as you're enjoying Aruba.
Yeah, and it helps you on your grocery trips. So you're not lugging in like a couple 24 packs of water bottles with you.
Helps the environment.
Helps the environment.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more budget friendly too, to not have to be spending on extra water.
Tip number 6, what should you bring to Aruba? First things first, I've mentioned it already in this video, but sun protection. The UV is crazy. A sun hat, something that can protect your face. Sunscreen. They are a little bit specific about sunscreen. They want you to make sure you're wearing reef safe sunscreen. Sunglasses, of course, and a UV, like a long sleeve UV shirt. Just for those days where maybe your sunscreen didn't cover everything it needed to and you did get burnt, you want to make sure you're covering that sunburn with a UV shirt.
Yeah, and also depending on maybe if you get a little bit of rainfall on your vacation or what part of Aruba you are at, mosquitoes could be a little bit of an issue. So you want to make sure you bring insect repellent, mosquito repellent. We like to use these little repellent bracelets.
They look like this.
Exactly like that. So we'll have those linked down in the description, and any other items we mentioned that we liked on our trip, we'll keep that in the description so that you can check that out for yourself.
Yeah, and I would say the only other thing I would toss in your bag is if you have any kind of water shoes, something like that, if you wanted to do any of the windsurfing.
Yeah, they might not be the most fashionable.
But the hot sand, too. Because the sand is really beautiful on the beach, but once you wade into the water, it can get a little bit pokey.
Yeah, so water shoes. For me, I went out and I had to find a couple of Hawaiian shirts or short sleeve button up shirts, and I also got a new swimsuit that's kind of been my go-to swimsuit since. I'll have the link down in the description for you as well.
Would you say you're a parrot head now?
Parrot head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could say I'm a parrot head now.
Wow.
What about you? Any suggestions for like fashion or style for?
I think that the sun was just so much stronger than I expected. I was expecting it, but I didn't know how it was going to feel. So once I was out of the water and in the sun, I wanted to toss on some cover-up pants or that UV long sleeve shirt. Those were like vital. And then a chafing stick. So you're gonna sweat. You're gonna be walking around. You want to be doing things. So a chafing stick is really helpful too.
And we walk around a lot on our trips, so I know you have like your signature shoes that you like to wear too.
Crocs always. Crocs sandals are the best. I would highly recommend,
Restaurant prices are a little bit more expensive than maybe some other areas that you visited. At least that's how it was for us. We noticed, especially of course in the touristy areas, everything did seem to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
However, you do still have your fast food options available for you, and if you travel maybe just a few minutes outside of those main touristy areas, you can still find like good authentic food for maybe a little bit of a lower price. We had a restaurant that we really enjoyed that was just like 1 or 2 minutes outside of the busy area of Palm Beach, called Pica's Corner. And it was maybe my favorite meal that I had while we were in Aruba.
It was really good food and really big portions and really reasonable prices. It is customary to leave a tip at the end of your meal. Not just at Pica's Corner, but at all restaurants.
Yeah, we always like to know about the tip thing because, I mean, we've been to like Spain and a couple other countries where that's not customary at all. And some countries like Aruba, you want to know if that is expected or not. So, yeah, it is.
Tip number 8, what currency is accepted in Aruba? Well, the official Aruban currency is the Aruban florin. And you can use that anywhere. It was good to have a little bit on hand while we traveled. But you can also use US dollars.
Yeah, the US dollar is widely accepted in Aruba. So this was maybe the first time we didn't bank on having local currency with us. We used the credit card almost everywhere we were in the island, and we had no issues whatsoever. Some places even accepted Apple Pay, right?
Yeah. Really convenient to buy whatever souvenirs or food that you want to.
Exactly. Tip number 9, all about the vibe in Aruba. So Aruba is known as one happy island, and you'll find that that's very much the case when you come to Aruba. So everyone's super friendly. It's got a low crime rate. It's pretty safe. It's very safe.
Yeah, it's actually one of the most revisited islands in the Caribbean because of the vibe and the people and the welcoming atmosphere.
It's the most revisited island in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Just remember you are on island time, so services may be a little bit slower. Everything just moves a little bit slower, so local businesses kind of have their own way of operating. They may open later or have flexible hours that you need to watch out for. But all in all, it was just a really nice place to relax.
Yeah, you might place an order in at a restaurant or at a bar, and it might take a little bit longer than you'd usually expect to receive that order, but just enjoy it.
Tip number 10, what is there to do in Aruba? You can keep your trip really relaxing by just hanging out by the beach all day or reading by the pool, or
make it action-packed. There's a lot of water sports available in Aruba, so you'll see a lot of people doing the windsurfing, the kite surfing. There's people on jet skis. There's ATV tours are really popular. You can go. We mentioned Flamingo Island. That's definitely something that you'll want to look into in advance because they do sell a limited amount of tickets ahead of time. We
saw a lot of people looking for shells or snorkeling to see the local fish and wildlife. There's also lots of really cool nature things to do. Like there's a local butterfly farm that we went to.
There's a butterfly farm, yeah. There's also there's a couple like natural landmarks that you could check out. There's a natural bridge. There's a lighthouse there that you can check out that's popular in Aruba.
Yeah, and then if you're looking for nightlife, there's tons of casinos and things like that. Casinos, I don't know what else.
There's also shopping and there's good golf in Aruba. So point being, there's something for everyone really.
Yeah.
And just depending on how much you want to do and what you're looking to do. Tip number 11 is how do you get around Aruba? So Aruba is actually a pretty small island, so it's easy to make it from one end to the other end and see basically everything you really want to see if you rent a car. So we highly recommend renting a car during your time in Aruba.
Yeah.
I know we've been to some places, some countries where we would not rent a car, but this one is pretty safe to drive and pretty easy to navigate. So we recommend that.
Yeah, you can pick it up at the airport. There were a couple of options there. And most of the hotels that we were looking at offered free parking, or if there was a fee, it was lower than other places that we visited where maybe you don't want to park your car there every day. So that was really helpful. And if you don't want to drive from all the different ends of the island to see all the different beaches, you can just stay where you're at and you can take one of the local buses or trams that will just take you around the area that you're in.
Yeah, it's either buses or trams or a car rental. We didn't see any Ubers or Lyfts when we were on the island. And the only other note we'll make about car rentals is that especially if you're going during peak season, just make sure you have that booked in advance. You don't want to land, get to the car rental place and have them tell you that they are out of cars or that the car that they have for you has no air conditioning. So make sure you do that in advance because when we were looking at car rentals, there was an option of it told you whether or not a car had AC, and we're like, oh yeah, you definitely want to have AC when you're here.
Tip number 12, this one's really important because it's all about when you're leaving Aruba. What you need to know is Aruba is really unique in that you actually go through customs, US customs, if you're coming back to the US. Other countries, I'm not sure what the process is, but I think it's similar. You're actually going to go through customs in Aruba. So traditionally, when you're leaving an island or any place, you're going to, go through security, fly out to the country you're going to, and then you go through customs there before you have your connecting flight. In Aruba, you go through everything right here in Aruba before you ever touch US soil again.
Yes.
So what that means is you need a bit more time at the upfront, right before you leave Aruba.
Yeah, so make sure it's recommended you get there maybe about 3 hours before your departure time.
3 hours. Just to make sure everybody heard. 3 hours. Because We are known to kind of cut a little close. We didn't need 3 hours, but we were glad to have the extra time.
I think we timed it, and it was like 2 hours would have been fine.
Right.
But if it wasn't busy when we went, when we
Right.
left. So it just depends if it's busy or not. 3 hours to be safe.
Some things that can cut down on your wait time while you're there is the mobile passport. So U.S. Customs does have an app, and we can put a screenshot of that here so you can see exactly what it looks like. We've used this on a couple of our international trips, and it is extremely helpful in cutting down your wait time. And there's no paper forms or anything. You can fill out everything in the app, and then it's all set, and you have actually a separate line usually that's a lot shorter than everybody else.
Yeah,
And it's free.
by going through U.S. Customs in Aruba is that, so the process is you check in, you check your bags, you go through security, you pick up your bags.
Yeah.
Then you go through security and check your bags again, because that's when you're going through customs.
Yeah, you
right?
do feel like you have deja vu a little, because you literally drop your bags and do the whole thing, and then you walk a little bit and you gotta pick up your bags and go do it again.
Because you're doing all that in Aruba, then of course when you get to the U.S., it's quick. You just make your way towards your connecting flight, and it's pretty easy, pretty streamlined.
And that was lucky for us, because our connecting flight, we only had 30 minutes to get from gate to gate, and we were probably the last ones on the flight.
We made it. We
We
okay.
did make it, but it was close. If we would have had to go through customs, definitely no way we would have made it. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about visiting Aruba. Be sure to keep an eye out for our video about the Boardwalk Beach Hotel that we'll be putting on the channel soon.
Yep, the Boardwalk Boutique Hotel.
Oh, sorry. Boardwalk Boutique Hotel. It was beautiful, and I would probably move there.
Yeah, we stay there because it's constantly ranked as one of the top hotels in Aruba, and so make sure you check out our review and our tour of that hotel.
Yeah.
And the link right over here somewhere. And then also linked in the description are any items that we mentioned here in this video. If you'd like to support our channel, make sure you use those affiliate links. It helps us. And
it helps you, because we've tested a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
We've gone on a lot of trips. I am telling you, the Croc sandals cannot be topped. I will not change my mind. And they're not even ugly. They're cute, so get them. But yeah, the affiliate links are just there for you, because we've searched a lot about everything and we do our research.
Yep, and also like and subscribe to our channel, where we'll be posting more videos from all our travel adventures.
Yeah.
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 Good job.
Wait, should we say bye?
Oh, bye.